This will be interesting. Let's try it. Let's do it.
I've seen so many black women that say they want thugs, they want the gangster type, they feel protected. I've seen men give them STDs and they're still banging on his door like, I love you.
What? Wait a minute. Wait, what? Damn, you've been jumping off early, bruh. Whoa.
Who's really the fool here, you know?
But are thugs the only ones that are giving out STDs? Is that what we're saying? And I have to.
Hey, my nigga said majority.
Majority. Oh, you're talking to a public health background right now. Let me tell you.
So you know everybody who's giving what? Maybe she knows the stats.
I prefer to date outside my race. Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
Realistic.
The key word here is prefer. Prefer.
Realistically, I would definitely want to marry a black man. I know that we've experienced a lot of trauma in our community.
Oh, there's that word.
And I think that trauma stems back from our colonizers, which have put us against each other, and it makes it difficult for...
I knew they were gonna go down this road. I knew they were gonna go down this road. I knew it.
Us to come together and be healthy in a relationship, if that makes sense.
For me personally, growing up mixed, just because I did grow up more so with my mom on the white side of my family.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Why
is she there? Why is she there? Why she even says I grew up with the white people. Oh, they just throwing all kinds of curveballs.
Came to dating experiences with black men. If anything, they would always tell me, "Oh, you're really white," or just really racial comments about how I'm mixed that makes me uncomfortable. Like at the end of the day, I'm
not a traitor. Them white boys just treat us with respect. Oh, see, there they go. There they go. They already getting it started in the comments. Plus, they got money. Money.
I'm black. I understand that I grew up predominantly on the white side of my family, but people don't see me on the street and think that's a white woman.
No,
like
they're gonna look at you as a black woman.
Yeah, I'm a black woman.
And you're gonna go through the experiences that a black woman go through.
Yes, versus always bringing up.
Fucking Africa Bambaataa here is about to be, oh my God.
That I have a white mama or I act a certain way because I grew up white. It's just, I'm me. I grew up how I grew up. And so if I am gonna be in a relationship with a black man, I would like him to just not bring that up. But in my experience, that's been a constant conversation topic.
Can the disagreeers step forward now?
Together, your love turned the whole world on its head.
Okay, so remember, the word is prefer, right? And I know the brothers are gonna make this the case that black men always make is we prefer.
.com has all.
This motherfucker was acting right. Okay.
And for those who.
My mom, she was adopted by a white family, man. She's also half white. Yep. And my parents were divorced after a while, and so I spent a lot of time with her, and we did things that were white, like I was in Boy Scouts, and we camped, and we did all these different things that just weren't quote-unquote black. I was reminded that I talked like a white boy all the time. And, you know, those sort of things, they can add strain. Is that me saying I wouldn't date a black girl? Of course not. Like, you know, of course I try to. I date anybody, but I just think in practice, you know, for whatever reason, circumstantially, it doesn't.
It's just circumstantially.
I grew up in a very white area as well, but I found...
Wait, what is going on here? Wait a minute. What is going on? Did you get any black people or what? What is going on?
When I started dating, even though it was only white girls surrounding me.
Is he British? What the fuck? What is this? Wait, what is this? I see. I knew Jubilee was gonna be on some bullshit, bro.
They didn't understand my identity. So I was just gonna ask, like, did you or have you found that even though you were in those white situations, did you feel understood by the white women you were dating? Or misunderstood?
Define understood, I guess. I mean, I don't.
Are there things that you would express, maybe like politically or identity-wise, that they might be like, I don't really understand that?
I think it's hard for other races to completely understand what it's like being black and that experience. That's not to say that they can't be empathetic and sympathetic and understand and listen to you and learn things.
Yes.
But fundamentally, I just think a black woman is going to have a different perspective.
So I'm from St. Louis. I'm not from California. I'm not from LA. So I'm from
That's what you want to call it. No.
a predominantly black area. And so
she's so black that he's trying to balance it out. Because there's a lot of situations going on up here. So they got the two ultra black, blackity black, but black. Africa Bambaataa and fucking the Zulu Nation.
growing up, there was only one white person in my class. And so I've only been exposed to our community. And to both of you all's points, my mom is black, my dad is black, my family is predominantly black. So I've been around the black man my entire life. I have so much respect for the black man to where hearing a prompt say, I prefer to date outside my race, it kind of makes me think now.
Boggles the mind, right? Boggles the mind.
Because I've never been exposed truly to the opposite end in such a depth way to where I can look at another man from a different race and say, I wouldn't want to date you over a black man when I have had solely my experiences with them, good and bad. So whether I
hope this nigga's normal.
Had that bad experience, it doesn't make me say, okay, I don't think I want to date black men anymore. I want to go and date a white man. They're going to treat me better. I feel like as a man, you all should be treated as a species in itself. And you all have very intense ways of thinking, and
I
feel
go both ways.
Yeah, so, true.
Very much so.
So I don't think that it has too much to do with race in itself. We have to take a deeper dive into men.
Do you think sometimes that women or black women, since we're talking to black women, can sort of superimpose what they believe a black man should be?
Sure. I have to say sure, but
see how you gotta say, don't you think, like kinda, sorta, like it's like walking on eggshells.
I think it honestly just depends. I think this will totally get off topic if you really want me to dive deeper into it. Truthfully, because I know that as a black woman, you can see there's black men who are excelling. There's black men who treat their women right. There's black men who honor and respect black women. And then you have black men who, although you all didn't step forward, would say, I don't want a black woman. I watched my mom struggle. I don't like black hair. I don't like black women's attitude. I don't like how they speak. I don't like how they don't respect men.
Okay, see, that's not fair, because it's not even about the women in itself. That's ridiculous. It's about your behavior. Your behavior we don't like. And so the behavior isn't inherent, okay? It's not biological.
I don't like the fact that they are not subservient enough for me.
Oh, come
So
on.
I do believe that we're on the totem pole. We want.
Is that a
men.
problem?
Which one? I said a lot.
The black man that doesn't like any of the things that you just mentioned.
It's not a problem. I think it's a preference thing. I think that we've been dating the wrong people. You see that this woman is very loud and strong-willed. You know that you don't like that. Don't date her.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Because I come from a similar background with you two. I grew up in Memphis, but I'm from Chicago. And most women down there, you know, and most women in the South generally are masculine,
Really?
a little too rough.
Not back in the day. They think in the old Southern Belle. That you're not talking about that.
A little too rough on the guy, you know.
In the
In the South?
Can you
like,
explain like just masculine?
Masculine.
Like I just want to know like specifically kind of what you mean.
Like
You
instead
want to
of
say that
saying,
again?
Like nice, hi. They're like what's up? What's up, my guy?
They're scared out of his mind.
Okay. Okay.
It just seems
She said, no, go ahead, tell me. No, tell me. What's masculine, Mark? Huh? Go ahead.
a little more. It makes sense because it's a little more dangerous. So it's like their defense, you know, based on the prompt. Like I disagreed because I don't date based off race. I date based off who I attract, and I generally attract women outside of black women.
Who's gonna
because of
treat
my
me nice?
characteristics, the way I live.
I prefer black women. I attract a lot of black women, but I'm open to dating all types of women. I have even in the past. But when I do date black women, I definitely date a specific type of black women. Not the representation that we have on the East Coast, that statue. Are you guys familiar with that by any chance? I find
That was in New York?
Yeah, is it New York?
I think so. In
Yeah.
Times Square of the
Yeah.
black lady.
I don't date. I mean,
He's
everyone.
talking about the statue that they put up in. I wonder if I can get a picture of it real quick. I think it. I know it's right there. Here it is. This statue. Okay, we don't need all that. Oh, here we go. A statue of basically a black woman. But it's like basically the representation of, or the generic form of, you know, like of what a black woman's supposed to be. If I was a black woman, I'd be mortified. But anyway, yeah, that statue got, and a whole bunch of people were talking about it. And he's basically saying that's not the black woman that I desire, you know, that black men want.
Knows that black woman. I find it that they can be very, it's almost like they try to be the man in the relationship.
Yeah.
And there can only be one man in the relationship. And you know, when it comes to relationships,
They try to lead.
the man is always gonna take the path of least resistance. And so, yeah, I usually date black women, but it wouldn't be that particular kind.
When you say that particular kind, because that was just a statue, can you go
Well, but
in-
it's a representation,
It's a
right?
representation.
But-
Exactly.
It was just like we have an image here, and this is the image, and you look at it. You don't know this woman. You've never had a conversation with this woman. You don't
See,
know
I would
who
say that I
she
do
is.
know that woman.
From the looks of her.
Yeah, I would say that I know
So
Yeah,
exactly
are
who
we
that
saying
Probably
is.
doesn't
because
take
let's
care
go
of
into
It's
it? Are we
just
saying because she's a
health-wise.
dark
She's just like, it's just disrespect. She's not even trying to understand what they're saying.
skin, heavy set,
She knows.
black woman? Is that what you guys getting at? Because that's we only have a visualization of who she
Yeah,
is.
that's the representation.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
She
like,
doesn't
I
get the
wouldn't
word.
date that particular kind of woman. And,
Got it.
Stereotypes
and then when you
come into
start
play.
talking about
That was the word. I
weight
was
and
thinking.
stuff in the black community, it can
Yeah.
be really sensitive for the women, but that does play into attraction.
That needs to be a conversation that we need to have, though.
We always have it.
No,
and
yeah,
they don't want to
this-
hear it.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. No, we've been
Like
having this
positivity.
conversation.
Right.
I mean, she's
Try telling a black woman about her
Accountability is what I noticed.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Accountability, major accountability.
Yeah.
You said you date people that you attract. I think that's really important that he said that. Because at the end of the day, like we can talk about who our preferences are, whatever. You can only date who wants to date you at the end of the day. Which is why I asked the question about superimposing what you think a black man should be onto a black person. I feel like a lot of the qualities I bring to the table, other races seem to appreciate and value a little bit more.
What qualities
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah, what quality?
Build a website you love
Yeah, what qualities?
with Wix.
What qualities, nigga?
For your words, create.
Oh shit.
Okay, so I've heard a
Got
bunch
you
of
on the
times
ropes,
growing
nigga.
up, like, oh, like I want like a thug, for instance, and I understand like that's
It's major in the
stereotypical.
South. It's
Mortified?
major in the-
it is major, even in California now.
That's
I mean,
major,
like
yeah, here
it's
it is.
it's like I guess I kind of understand what some of the appeal of that might be, I suppose, but at the same time, like if we're trying to like build a healthy community, why are we prioritizing that?
That bores
For
a lot.
some
Of,
groups.
that bores a lot of women in the black community.
But that's my
when
point.
you start
like,
talking
yeah.
about positive things and stuff like that, they want somebody that's going to be destructive generally.
I disagree.
I don't disagree at all.
I
I've seen
disagree.
so many black women that say they want thugs, they want the gangster type, they feel protected.
Yes, I've heard
so
this a
much
lot.
so
You
to
gotta
the point
have a
where-
gun.
Yeah, they like the emotional highs and lows is like sex in and of itself to her.
King Von's ex girl, I remember when she said, I won't date a man unless he got bodies. Meaning murders under his belt. That's what she said. That's what she said. And her little friends in the comment, 7 to 9 or some shit. At least more than 3. You ain't gonna fly with just one. Like, what? So there is evidence to back up what the claim that he's making.
I've seen women like this where I've seen men give them STDs and they're still banging on his door like, I love you. I'm like, who's really the fool here, you know?
But are
So-
thugs the only ones that are giving out STDs? Is that what we're saying? And
Majority.
I have to, majority. Oh, you're talking to a public health background right now. Let me
bad,
let
my
me tell you. It is not thugs. There is no line that says I am a thug. There are white men, black men, Puerto Rican men, I'm sorry, Hispanic.
And they can be
And
thugs. What are you talking
in general, there's no percentage that says only thugs are giving the most STDs out. I'll tell you one thing, black women,
said there's no
heterosexual black
stat.
women are the most high at risk for HIV right now, and it's not just from black men. It's from all men.
Well,
That's
duh.
why I wanted to really dive deep into that. And then you're speaking of a community saying they only want thugs. I think education plays
Mostly.
a major role in that, because if you're an educated woman, I'm an educated black woman from the
You are the
trenches. Have
exception.
you all heard that term? The
We wouldn't be
trenches.
talking to you then.
I-
You
no, no, no,
wouldn't
no.
be the archetype.
No, no,
but
of
there is a
course.
large majority of black women.
Like,
that
where are
would-
the studies
yes.
coming from? Where
Where are the studies coming
Yeah.
from? The numbers. The CDC.
The numbers.
like specific
Local-
city, state?
Nationally.
Okay.
Nationally.
CDC.
Can I just say something? I think we also need to look at what you said earlier, our environment. Why are we being quote unquote hostile? Why do we have these masculine features? It's because
Well,
we're
here we go.
put
She's about to blame
into
men.
these situations where we have to be a certain way or evoke certain characteristics. And although like certain things are portrayed online heavily, you know, like, oh, black women like want to be like sexy red, black women want to be sexualized. So kind of something that we should
It's the same problem that the men have with the street niggas, with the rappers, and all them. It's the same thing. Both sides have the problem.
all look at is taking assumptions out of the window, because there are a lot of assumptions being brought up. So like, who are you talking to right now? You're not talking to a heavy representation. Obviously, you're speaking with people who are heavily educated right now. So kind
you're
of
4 or
consider
5
that
people.
and notice that,
What does that
you know,
mean?
you're not always gonna find a black woman that is ghetto. You could also find a very smart
Nobody's saying all. Nobody is saying all. They always make this argument. Nobody's saying all.
black woman. You know, you're not always gonna find a smart white girl. You could find a very ghetto white girl. And stereotypes are very important in conversations like this, because we need to
Yeah, and they're sometimes
throw
true.
them out the window.
Black men are intimidated by successful black
Oh,
women.
I hate this one. Jesus Christ. There we have, of course. Of course. No, bro, don't do it, bro.
You can
Don't
root
do it.
yourself, though. That's important.
Whoa, wait. Okay.
You're gonna try to take them
I
all
will
on.
say, like, sometimes. I'm not gonna say all black men are, but I know I've
Fernando.
heard from plenty of my friends and plenty of older women that I know who are kind of successful, and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to date because men will be like, oh, you make more money than me or something.
You guys like to say that we
But
shouldn't
that's the-
compare, as women, we shouldn't compare ourselves to men because we'll never be the same as you guys.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
But you guys do that with us. Compare yourselves
Because we're-
to us. Like, I don't make as much as her, or I don't have all the degrees that she has.
I don't
No,
know if it's the same kind of comparison we're
Ye-
talking
exactly,
about, right?
that's what- thank you. Yes,
I think
exactly.
a lot of the time when people are saying women shouldn't compare themselves to men, is women shouldn't try to be men versus men comparing themselves to women. It's more
like going up
am
the
I
ladder than
fulfilling
going down or punching
that
down.
traditional masculine role that's kind of expected. Now we can have the conversation as to whether or not that's still apt for our time or not, whether that's still relevant. I would say it is, just because it seems like people seem to appreciate, at least.
It's the only natural way, bro. And this is the problem, is people think that there's like these ulterior ways of doing it. You can't just make some shit up. Like, this is like life in the world that we live in. I mean, there's kind of rules to this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't come in and just start changing shit up. You're gonna mess shit up. You can't do that, okay?
From my perspective, women seem to appreciate men who make more than them still.
Intimidation is a form of insecurity. So that stems from lack of communication and
Intimidation.
not dating someone on your level. Not you specifically, but you know, if the person isn't dating someone on their level, there needs to be that communication, because obviously that person is with you for other reasons.
I don't want to make the broad statement that it's all black men, because it's not.
It never
It's
is.
specifically black men that, for whatever reason, in their own life, they're not happy with where they are at. They have some sort of insecurity. Maybe it's career insecurity, financial insecurity. So if they're with that archetypal strong black woman, in my experience, instead of being like, oh, like, that's awesome, you have a degree in this, you got this job, you did this, they're like, okay.
The thing they're not understanding is that we don't measure ourselves up to you in any such way. That's what they don't get. They think that because they gain these material things that then they can get up to where we are on the ladder. You can't. You can't physically, you can't biologically, you can't. You can't. And that's why it's not intimidation. Or no man's intimidated by a woman. Because at the end of the day, period, it doesn't matter what you're talking about, things always escalate. We are more physically dominant and aggressive than women. And that just makes it so we don't measure ourselves up to women the same way as another man. That's what we're saying. And they just can't get that.
Hey, big mama, you got money? You got money, big mama? I'm like, what the hell? Or like, I've even had experiences where they were like basically slut shaming me, talking down to me because I got a better job or I lost weight and people started noticing that. So now I was a whore.
When was this? The nerve of you. The nerve of you. Oh, shut up. The nerve of you. Oh my God, the audacity. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear, this is crazy. Look at my man. It's like, no, she did not just say that.
But in my experience, if I've been with a black man who, he is successful, he has a job that he likes, he's pursuing his hobbies, he has X, Y, and Z, comments like that are never made because he's not
supporting you.
Yeah, he's not internalizing your success as his failure.
Yeah.
Met that across all men.
The only guarantee you
And now
have
it's
as a
all
human
men.
being
Now
is
it's
you are
all
going to
men,
die.
right?
If you're lucky, you get to choose
The
how to
things they
spend
come
those
up
last
with, bro,
moments.
I swear, it's insane.
They just feel intimidated when you are successful. And in my experience too, I do tend to be more of a dominant black woman, and I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's totally okay, but it does scare some men.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. No, it doesn't. You can't do anything to us. We're not. It doesn't intimidate us. This is what you're not saying. We're not understanding. You just, no. We measure ourselves up to other guys. Okay? Not to women. Because 99.9% of the time, we win that battle. If we wanted, that's what I'm saying. If it gets to that, because that is usually the end of the road. So this is why this whole idea of you're intimidated by us. No, we're not. We look at you almost in a whole different light. We don't look at you like the same.
Does it make you feel like you shouldn't lead with, because I used to be the type of person, I would lead with like all my accomplishments or my businesses. I would lead with that thinking that, oh, he might like me even more because
we
this is what I do,
care.
you know? So now it's just like, I don't like to share anything when I'm dating. Like, I don't do anything, I just sit at home.
What I've had to learn is because I used to diminish myself a lot.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, I want something that's real. I want someone who's gonna love me for me and all that encompasses that. So I'm gonna be unapologetically 100% me. I'm loud, I talk my shit, I speak my mind, and if you don't like that, then you're not for me.
Yeah, never change, because I'm perfect how I am. Everything about me is right. And so take me as who I am. That's what she's saying. That's ridiculous. No, you need to work on yourself. What the hell? And then you can't even admit the little, issues and insecurities that everybody has. That attitude is disgusting. That attitude is just nasty, bro.
But I think that this specific prompt goes back to the original prompt. Men who prefer to date women outside of their race, I believe that it's not really a race thing, it's a class thing. And I honestly believe that if I'm a black woman and you already view me as a stereotypical black woman, loud, disrespectful, I don't respect black men, if you view me as that way, on top of me being successful. See, I don't have to be more successful than you. Sometimes men, specifically black men, believe that you don't need to have so much confidence in yourself. I feel like you are competing with me.
Yes.
My success does not revolve around your success. We should want to be successful together, which leads back to that specific detail about creating a healthy relationship, a healthy Black successful relationship. And I believe that Black men view women who are very confident. I'm very confident in myself. I don't disrespect you. I respect you so much, but I respect myself more. And I think that men have a hard time toting that line of keeping my masculinity and upraising your femininity.
I think there's definitely some validity in that. I think, however people decide to arrange like their marriage and their relationships, I think it's totally up to them. Like whatever roles you choose, that's up to you. If that works, it's healthy, you should do that. I wanted to unpack the on your level thing that you said. So what does that mean?
Get it, Fernando.
On your level.
Whether that's financially, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, anything. Or all.
See, they just say shit and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. What do you mean? Just like anything. Yeah, she can't unpack it, bruh. She can't unpack it. She can't.
The above.
It's tied too tight.
Someone who you feel you resonate well with, no insecurities. You know, I feel like, I don't know, did that answer your question?
Yeah.
No.
I guess for the.
Introducing Business Essentials, a powerful combination of business checking and card payment processing from U.S.
And
Bank.
I hit the Tacoma Clubs and I was
what
like,
I'm saying. That's what he's like.
I am hitting these purer
they're not
than
gonna
my
get
title
it.
is.
They're not gonna get it. They never do.
For the purpose of this conversation, I want y'all's opinions on this. Do you think Black women generally would date or marry a man who wasn't financially or had no prospects of being financially, socioeconomically on their level?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
See it every day.
Literally.
Every single day.
I wonder why the perception isn't that then. Like I wonder where that comes from then. Like the majority, and I'm sure maybe someone will agree with me when they walk over here, because necessarily you're not going. I mean, Black women are most educated right now. Like necessarily you are not going to probably find a Black man who is on your level. Like it's just the numbers are not there. So a lot of Black men might feel like, okay, you might just be settling because we're here now, but would you be dating me if it weren't somebody else?
You know, I think that's actually really interesting that you mentioned that, because it's something that is socially imposed, and I think a lot of men, not just Black men, but men in general, seek
biological
social validation from their peers. And so when other men look at each other, they're like, okay, well, what are you doing for work? Are you making more money than me? You know,
yeah, we do that with men.
They're more competitive with each other, and then
no,
obviously
we're
that
only
brings
competitive
competitiveness within the relationship.
No,
which is something that
no,
shouldn't be
this
the
is
case, but it is in a lot of.
They're just
situations.
wrong.
The only reason I disagreed with the prompt is just because I agree with everything you guys are saying.
Oh, don't
but,
do that. Don't do
personally,
that.
because my mum, who's Black, she was always very successful. So I've never felt intimidated by success. But I agree with what you were saying, that I think that in my experience, if you aren't perceived to be on the financial level
you ain't got a
of
chance.
woman, then she'll just look past you straight away. I'm a musician, so we know that we're not gonna be financially successful until it hits. So I'm always more see my potential, but I think there are a lot of people who don't acknowledge potential. They're just you need money now, and that's all I'm going for.
That's me. I don't see potential.
Yeah, I'm 26.
See, this is what I mean. And that's, I can't believe she would say something like that's nasty. That's not very womanly. Even if that's how you feel, keep that shit to yourself.
The honesty.
There's so much potential that honestly, when I first see you and you are not economically secure, I'm not looking at you. I don't have intentions on being the breadwinner. But being a breadwinner and being successful are two different things to me.
Can we have to disagree a step forward?
Welcome.
Yeah, so I strongly disagree. No man is intimidated by any woman because of her credentials. That's not the case. It's usually the character and traits that come with that. They usually have extremely high egos, and you can't tell them anything. And they usually come off extremely masculine. Like what you said you can be masculine and it might be too much for men. It's an attraction thing. Men are not attracted to masculine traits in women. That's what it is.
I don't
Thank
think
you.
that's necessarily true because someone
You're not
for
a man.
example, I've known men who were intimidated because
What?
and jealous
Did they
because
tell
I had
you
a
that?
college degree and they did not. It's not just the
That is
trait
just
that
not
came
true.
with that.
We
It
don't
was
know.
I have a diploma. They did not.
No,
It's not
we don't
just my
care
quote,
about
unquote,
that.
masculine
We
traits.
don't,
That
we don't
was the
care
turn off.
about your
I would
diploma.
say that might be unique to him, but generally,
Yes.
it's the traits that come with it. It's not the degree, it's the traits. This idea of dating down and dating on your level stems from women. When men have money, they don't view it as dating down when they're with their women. You guys say that, not men. If a man has money and he's taking care of a woman, there's no point that he thinks he's dating down. He's just taking care of his woman.
I think it's dangerous for a woman to date down because we see it all the time. Men.
You guys all said that you would, though. You guys all said that you would date someone that made less than you, and then you said that you didn't.
I didn't
right?
respond
I
because
agree
I'm not
that they're a
sure.
woman. I never.
I thought they said, and then they
I
all
never
switched.
sworn one of
You
y'all-
didn't
I
see
thought
potential.
that's what y'all said.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't see potential. I don't see potential.
There you go. There you go. No potential. Stop. All right, just knock it off. Just knock it the fuck off.
Potential
I
not guaranteed.
Yeah, I appreciate economic security. That's all I want. If you are secure as a man,
What if you're in a field where like you're still studying, or it's something that you know that the payoff isn't immediate?
I wouldn't view that as potential, though. I mean, okay, you
That's
can.
exactly
but
what
honestly,
that
if
is.
someone says, I'm going to school for psychology, when you graduate, if you want to become a psychologist, I know that you have to go and get a master's degree. 9 times out of 10, you have to go and get a doctorate degree to become
my
a big
God,
breadwinner.
that's stupid,
Okay?
bro.
I know that eventually you're leaving from that field of study and you are in the works
Wow.
of going and becoming economically secure. See, that's not potential to me. You are a musician, yes?
That's exactly what potential is. And that what if a man was just satisfied with just getting his what's the one before the masters? So now he has to get a master's? This is what we're talking about. This is such ridiculous nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Do you love him? Is that your man? Will you let him lead you? You know what I'm saying? All this diploma, school, this don't mean anything. See, this is the brainwashing, the programming, bruh. They're programmed because they think they've put the education such on a pedestal that it means even more than loving a motherfucker. Goddamn.
And so you make money?
Yeah.
If you take on one extra person and they lose their job, do you think that you'll be able to carry you all's household?
Oh my God.
Soon. Okay, so myself listening to you, as I stated, if I talk to you as a friend, because that's how dating starts, I'm listening to you, and if you have enough charisma, I'll look at you and I'll say, okay, this is a man who I think will eventually become economically secure for us. See,
There you go.
I want to date someone who is economically secure for himself first. So that's what I'm thinking about.
No. Understand. She thinks she deserves it. These women believe they are entitled to such a man. Entitled. Fuck the numbers. Fuck the stats. No. You know, we're not even gonna bring up that it's like they're like less than 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%. Okay, we're not even gonna bring that up. But the fact that they all feel entitled to, like it's the 1950s or 40s. Most men can't do that. The odds are stacked against you, baby girl.
About
I'll
potential.
be honest, I don't believe any of this.
You don't believe
I don't believe it.
I mean, we live in a superficial society.
believe any of
Women
this.
only want the men with money.
Yeah. Hit him with it, man. The gloves are off, nigga. I done had enough of these bitches. Okay? That nigga said, I don't believe none of that.
Yeah, as they should.
Thank you.
But
let's just cut the BS. It's about money.
Yeah.
Believe any of this.
You don't
I think
believe
it
any
just
of this?
Believe any of this.
Economically secure for himself first. So that's what I'm thinking about
I'll
potential.
be honest, I don't believe any of this.
You don't
I think
believe
it
any
just
of
comes
this?
straight to just superficial stuff. I mean, we live in a superficial society. Women only want the men with money.
Yeah.
Facts.
As they should.
Thank you.
But
let's just cut the BS. It's about money.
Yeah, it is. That should be the number
Yeah.
one thing. When you're dating, that should be the
That should be the number one thing. I thought it was love, ladies. What happened to that? Huh? What happened to that? Money is the number one thing. You hear what she said?
The first thing that
Why?
one of
Materialism
the
should
things
be the number one
it's
thing.
not just materialism. It's that I
Shallow, sad, bruh. Sad. That tells everything that you need to know right there. That tells you. That means she doesn't like you for you. If you got money, she doesn't like you for you. And if you ain't got then she not sticking around. It's that simple. You're an ATM machine, okay? Running resources regularly, okay? That's triple R, nigga. Running the resources regularly, okay? That's what you need to do as their man, right? Because they deserve it. They're entitled to it, okay? This is not a question, okay? They're born with such entitlements. They're born with it. We get nothing. We're the men. You're supposed to provide and protect. You get nothing. You get to be in my presence. That's what they say. That's the type of shit they say. You should be lucky to be in my presence. That's your gift. Unbelievable.
As a woman, we
That's
need
what I'm
to
saying.
know.
It's not just about money, but I do agree.
Don't go back now. Don't go back now. Y'all was nodding your head too with her. No.
There's just a lot of
Money
BS.
should be the number one
Yeah,
thing.
a lot of BS.
One of the top things that a woman should look at when she's dating.
It is the main
Look,
topic.
It is.
Saying,
It should be.
Are you saying one of or the most important?
The
No, she
most
already said it.
important, yes.
She already said it.
I disagree because I think there are kind of like we mentioned earlier, there are preferences.
Go ahead and lie.
If you find
Go ahead and
someone
lie.
that is interested in a certain characteristic that you have, perfect, great for you.
Hey.
And so we have these assumptions that, all women are superficial. That
Nobody's
is not
saying
the
all.
case. Absolutely.
Most.
Okay, well,
Yes,
that is.
they are.
They
I
always
don't care
go
about
there.
words, I care about actions. The actions say that women are superficial.
Maybe what you encountered, that may possibly be
I
the
think
case.
there will be a lot of men that-
However,
I'm listening to you right now.
Okay. Historically, if we look at the role of a man and we look at the role of a woman,
Oh, you don't want to go down
that
here.
is what is proposed societally to us. And maybe it comes down to security. That is a
you to
very,
follow.
very important thing
Yes.
within a relationship,
Yes.
within a community, within a society. Security is important. At the end of the day, you need money to put food on the table. Whether you're by yourself, whether you're in a relationship, whether you
Right.
have kids, right? Is that a concern?
My thing is, if you're dating someone strictly
Goalposts
for money, I don't
moving.
want to hear you getting angry about him sleeping around or him doing whatever.
The men
Exactly.
with no money do the
Cheat.
same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a species topic we're talking about. That's a
Men with
species.
no money
then we
have less
say-
options to
Species
do that.
And more time.
My point, what I'm saying is
But
like,
do the men with no money really have the option
What is it,
to
man? Man,
sleep around with a lot of women?
Yes.
No.
Yes. We see
They
it all the
do,
time.
because it's a lot of women who have less money than no money. And if you are a man who has no money, but you're with a woman who has money, you have money. 'Cause that's how you
No,
are.
no,
That
is
goes back-
that is not true. You women do not share your resources, and when you do, you only do it for a specific amount of time. You're not gonna keep doing that for some man. Absolutely no. Stop it.
Back into validation with you guys saying that's a bad
lies
man
they
if he
tell.
doesn't have X, Y, Z. Then you also need to look at why does a man need to be emasculated for not being where he wants to be.
And if you're a wealthy man and you want other women, get into a polygamous relationship. You do not have to cheat.
Well, it's kind of like common sense in modern times that men at the top 10% that most women want are generally like that and have options.
Bro, these women don't know don't know shit about men. This is the problem. They don't know us. I don't know where they think they know us. They know nothing.
And they're not going to
And they
settle
say it with
for
such
just one
confidence.
woman.
So why portray as if you want one woman?
Who
I
said
don't think they do.
portray-
Most
who
men
said they
do.
portray
do.
as they
See what I
want
mean?
one
It's
woman?
not a secret.
Most men go to that level just so they can get the amount
Multiple
of women.
It's a complete double standard, but I think it is the reality that I think men want the idea of this woman is only having sex with me.
Yep.
Because men.
Territorial.
Yeah,
Dominate.
exactly. Yeah, again, this is a double standard, not excusing this, but you know, the amount of men who are obsessed with a woman being a virgin, but also wanting them to be this like sexual dominatrix as well, complete idiocy. But yeah, I think unfortunately, men would rather know that their women are only sleeping with them but then
They're
they
not
are
gonna
happy
get this
to
one.
give it out wherever.
I disagree. I think men just want, obviously they want their women to only be sexual with them, not with other men.
Of
And I
course.
don't think that's stupid or idiotic in any way.
Well, I just think it's a double standard because if
Yeah,
we
it's
if
a double
we
standard.
expect
It is what
ourselves
it
to be
is.
able to put it out anywhere,
Yeah, he's right. It's a double
then
standard.
I think it
So
would,
what?
it would
I
be
mean,
fair.
There's a
But it
reason
depends on
why
the person, depends the kind of guy you're talking about.
there's a reason why
Same about
women
women.
can get pregnant by one man every 9 months,
Oh, you gonna
but
hit
a
him with
man can get multiple women pregnant.
Oh,
all
of
at
course,
once.
yeah. Evolution-wise, yeah, we
Life.
want to throw it everywhere we can,
Nature,
but I think
God.
the modern relationships, that doesn't necessarily work.
I just wonder, do most women want to sleep with multiple people the way most men want to sleep with multiple people? I think,
Now
do
that
they
I
want the
see
same?
why
want
do you-
to.
why do
I
you
would
think
say
you
yes.
problem.
want-
They do it.
I just think that men, a lot of guys intrinsically, when they have more options, they want to exercise them versus I think a lot of women, a lot of time, when
They
they're
always
committed to
have
one person, would
options.
rather just be with that one
Look at this
person.
girl.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in months.
Yeah, someone crashed into my car and I couldn't move all my limbs for a while, but I'm all better now. Couldn't be helped.
Are you serious? There's a reason people get sued for that. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan, the sponsor of today's video, is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan specializes in a wide range of personal injury cases and have won thousands.
I thought they were about to veer off into like something racist. I thought it was still Jubilee. I thought a nigga was coming out of nowhere.
It's the highest insurance offer. I'm telling you, your case can be worth millions. The best part? It's all free unless you win your case. If you've also been a victim of a personal injury or any other serious accidents, you can visit www.forthepeople.com/Jubilee, found in the description below, to start your free claim today.
Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this portion of this episode. Now let's get back to the video.
Let's get back to it. The craziness.
OnlyFans and hookup culture have ruined modern dating.
Well, that's a fact. Yeah, I was about to say everybody.
I would say that it has really completely destroyed dating, relationships. It's really sad, but it has definitely
Social media
watered down a lot of things too. I'm seeing that, women are they're waiting to turn 18 and then hopping on OnlyFans, which is, that's really just a reflection of how the culture is. I think it shows a really bad reflection on how the culture is, and it's really sad in my personal opinion. I think it's disgusting.
My last long-term relationship, which is also why I've been single as long as I have been, he was subscribing to OnlyFans girls, because porn's one thing. It's like, I see it as, it's a scenario-based, it's general. You're not looking up a specific girl versus you're following a specific girl while you're in a relationship as well. Paying for it, logging into her live cams, like this, it's like, that's a whole thing. And it's not counted as cheating in a lot of men's eyes because you're not physically touching anybody.
Yes,
but you
man,
might
weird.
as well be. It's a fantasy. Unfortunately, one of the first things I do when I go on a first date, I am gonna look at who you're following, because on Instagram, it's public. If I see a guy is following all these like big booty Latina, ass, we got a problem, shut it down.
You're not supposed to have this much access to these sexual women in general. In a relationship, it's really hard when you have so much access, easy access to link and meet up with the people who do OnlyFans, who are on Instagram showing ass. And I do want to kind of side with men on this. I don't have a problem with men liking other women's pictures and following women on Instagram solely. I'm in a relationship. Finding that common ground is important, but I just feel like, no, I'm not going to make you unfollow all these women from social media, because you have to be strong whether you see them in person or you see them on the streets.
Do you guys think you could date someone who has, for you
No,
guys as well, do you think you
absolutely
could date
not.
someone who has OnlyFans and like
No.
is successful?
No.
What do they do?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
What do they
Okay,
do?
let's start off with they just post pictures. They don't have sex with anyone.
What kind of picture?
Naked pictures.
No.
Nope.
Feet
Absolutely not.
Okay, feet pics. That's cool.
If you're posting some foot pictures, whatever, man, go get it.
Because we're talking about OnlyFans from the subscriber perspective. I always wonder what if you met someone who you're like, she's really cool, great personality,
I don't care. No.
very attractive.
No.
But her job is OnlyFans.
No,
You set
absolutely
yourself
not.
up for failure.
Absolutely
Why
not.
do you think so?
We've got passion, we've got determination. And if we set our sights on something, you better believe it's happening.
Look at her character. You don't think she's gonna not cheat on you?
I don't know.
I don't think
$1
it's
million
being
subscriber.
I don't
husband.
I got you a Rolls Royce. Major red flag.
Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily mean, though, if you're an
More
OnlyFans
likely.
creator, that you would cheat. And it depends. It's all circumstantial, and it's like it depends. If
will
she's
cheat.
sleeping with other people, I'm still talking.
There she go. There's a connect. There's a connection to the point, the idea that you yourself are willing to make the decision to go on the internet and get naked, kind of to your like how your sexuality or how your mind state kind of how sex is. And I think there's a link right there. There's some kind of link. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because it's basically, if you're willing to do X, then it leads me to believe you're more inclined to do Z. It just, I mean, that's just is what it is. You know, they don't like to hear it, but it's the truth.
Talking. If she's sleeping with other people, I mean, yeah, then she's sleeping with other people on camera. But most of the OnlyFans creators that I've heard about, all their content is by themselves. So I don't think it
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't think it directly means being an OnlyFans creator would mean you're gonna cheat.
In the sense of someone who's posting pictures, she may not have just had someone in her life to tell her like, hey, you should want to keep that for yourself.
Would she
and
listen?
Would she listen?
Would she
Good
listen?
question.
I mean,
Would
I
she
grew up
listen?
hearing that. I'm not on OnlyFans. We're speaking about me, but I'm
Yeah,
just
we're
saying
not talking
in
about
general,
you.
some women who are in the sex culture, who are in pornography, there's the disconnect between self and
Okay.
I know a
So
lot of
it's
women
not their
in that
fault.
Do you think that feminism played a role in any of this?
Yes.
I mean, the liberation of like
Women.
free choice, do what you
Yes.
want.
Yep.
You
Get back
shouldn't
at
face
men.
repercussion. I mean, I wouldn't say get back at men per se, but I think it's.
Well, that's what it's
dangerous
become.
to say that's
That's what it's become.
It's
not
is
about men.
about.
Yes, it is
and where
very
it
much about
stems
Pretty
men.
much is today. It's pretty
Yes,
much
it
they
is.
just want to be able to do whatever they want and have no
Repercussions.
consequences to their actions.
I think that's an umbrella.
Yeah, I feel like you cite
Yeah.
a lot of things too that don't really have backing as well, and you make a lot of broad statements.
They're true though.
I think feminism
Yeah.
maybe played a part
They're
in it,
true.
but I don't think it's the reason why women
Tone
are on
police over.
OnlyFans.
I agree.
Right?
I think it's
I think it
capitalism
plays.
more
I think it
than
plays a big
feminism.
role.
It's
No, it does. It
Okay,
does. I mean,
Women
this,
wanting independence. OnlyFans being the
Yeah, and
easy
it-
way
no,
out.
no, I agree. It's this whole
Easy way
idea
out.
that
10K
like
a month?
again, sexual revolution, capitalism. You know, it's the fastest way to make money. Basically, prostitution is the
Right.
oldest profession. I think
Yeah, I was just
when-
about to solely because you brought up prostitution, but before now, women weren't allowed to have bank accounts. If you did
Oh
not
my-
have a
not- oh my
husband or a
God.
man taking care of you, what were you left with? I don't think that it's because
Yeah,
of
because family's more
feminism.
important.
Yeah.
We have to.
Hey, ladies, understand this. Families come before you. Do you not understand? The family comes for, and not everything's about you. Okay? You're not at the top of the totem pole. The family as a whole is. Okay? This is what we're talking about. Like, the mind state's all off. You know, you've been programmed, bruh. You've been programmed. You gotta snap out of it. Okay? Because that don't make no sense. There's no reason why a woman should be leaving her family talking about, I need to be happy. You're not happy being with your family. You want this, they have this idea, this entitlement of, you know, extravaganza, and, you know, they all think they deserve it. It's like, you gotta come back down to reality, baby girl.
We have to be very careful with how we're speaking about that term, although I know that there's a lot of controversial things about feminism, but I don't believe that OnlyFans is a result of feminism.
Yeah, I wasn't saying.
What?
Oh,
How?
I was saying like it plays.
I am what?
But if prostitution is the oldest job in the world, then it predates,
It predates
feminism.
That
doesn't
so
matter.
I would say, to your
It's-
point, it is because social media has become such a way to earn money
Along with
quickly,
feminism.
that then prostitution
Bro,
has
you're
just
insane.
evolved.
If you're saying there's no link there,
Yeah,
you're
it's
A
crazy.
combination of all of that, not just one or the other, but both.
Do you think OnlyFans could thrive in the 1930s, 40s? Huh? Before feminism or even before that or whatever? Huh? No, it couldn't. It needs that's the engine. Shit.
Prostitution, I think before it was still kind of taboo. I don't know if OnlyFans is as taboo as like our traditional prostitution.
No.
When COVID started, I think like The
It's
amount of girls I
normalized.
knew who were just regular girls, like, oh, join my OnlyFans.
Yep.
Hard times may leave you on the street.
Survival mode.
That's a damn shame.
You know, honestly,
Have
it's
some
just
morals.
honestly, it was very dangerous to be a prostitute during
no,
COVID.
I don't want to hear
and
that.
so,
I
all
don't
right,
want to
we're
hear
gonna
none
try
of
to
that
do
shit.
something that's
Wait, so
Making
to get out
excuses
of
for the-
survival mode, shouldn't we be finding ways to get together so there's two incomes and not one?
Exactly.
You just said you wouldn't want to be with a woman that.
So maybe,
Is in survival
so
mode like
maybe like you know, don't join OnlyFans, but find someone to you
Lower,
know, like,
lower your standards.
That's
like,
crazy.
Find
They're
someone to
not
get
gonna
with.
lower their standards.
Like,
They shouldn't have to though.
you don't
Yes,
have to.
you
No,
should.
don't.
You're not.
I mean, I wasn't
Who
talking
do you
about-
think you are? Who do you think you are? This is part of the problem. They think they're better than they really are. They need to come back down to reality.
Darren, I was just saying like perception's reality.
You're a normal
and then
person,
when you
like
see a bunch of
the-
people that just kind of see just the girl down the street starting an OnlyFans and it probably doesn't go anywhere, but now like you've made this life decision and now everyone saw that.
Exactly, and they can't unsee
This makes
it.
you wonder where we are as a society.
Everything now is just oversharing
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
this
That's social
culture.
media.
So I think again,
Yeah.
it's just like a natural like, you know, people share
The decline.
every single sexual story.
decline in
People
culture,
share
bro.
every single like whatever thing. So I think people are like, well, I'll just share my body because that's the same as a story.
But do
It's
you
a damn
guys feel
shame.
like men play a role in women getting online and showing their body off?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a market
Yes.
for it.
100%.
I mean,
Do
yeah,
you
we
play a
are
role
the
in what you do
market.
with your bodies?
But
buy
it's
it.
your
We
body,
just
your
take
body,
time
your
to look at
choice,
the fact
right?
that
What happened to
there are
that?
lonely men that are creating a market for this. Like we can't come.
Okay, yeah, obviously, but hey, their body, their choice, right? Which one is it, huh? See, when it's something that is, you know, oh, now they want to put it on the men. You know, now I'm a helpless young woman. I thought you were independent, big strong woman, making my own money. This is exactly why we don't measure up with each other. We can't. This is why. This type of thinking, you guys have woman brain, you know, feminine thinking. Even if you are still masculine, there's still those biological traits within you that are just the opposite of what men think.
Complain about something that exists if there is a market for it. That said, though, I don't think we should take accountability for the fact that the men are lonely.
I have felt more judged by black people than any other race.
Oh yes, black people judge the shit out of you. That's all they goddamn do. Especially the old ones. At least the old ones just tell you to your face. The old ones don't give a fuck. They just tell you straight to your face. Oh, here we go. Let's get it.
I can say I felt more judged by black people because I grew up inner city, then I moved from the inner city to the suburbs.
You were around black
And
people,
so when
so
I
yeah.
would come around like my black family or black friends from the inner city, they would be like, oh, you talk white, or oh, you act white, or if I say I want to go swimming today, oh, black people don't go swimming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would like make comments that would just make me feel like super like, damn.
In the black community, it's like a checklist. There are like certain things that black people can do and certain things that are considered not black, right? And this goes for everybody. And when you know, veer off into the other lane, you know, the mob will come for you. And oh my God, the black mob is the worst.
Like judged.
I experienced that a lot when I first moved to Memphis from Chicago at 5. Throughout all my life, I was always the different kid. In school, they would say you talk white, and it still continues. Like, people see me, my friends back home in Memphis, they see me surfing and stuff. They see me doing things that you don't usually see black people doing, and they say you trying to be white, when really I'm just trying to explore life.
Right, because I'm like,
There you
what
go.
does it even mean to be like, oh, you talk white? Or,
Exactly.
normal
We've
articulate
created
person.
this
Exactly.
I think it
social
comes from the
construct.
stereotype that black people are uneducated. So when you sound articulate, you sound educated, they're like, damn.
Yeah.
Because I get that all the time. I went to a white private school, half of middle school, high school, all of college. It sucked to be in predominantly white communities where even the black people were saying the same thing as the white people to you.
It takes a real toll on you
Yeah.
because when people were telling me that, like saying you talk white, I would try to change the way I talk and try to fit in. And I was speaking ghetto, that Memphis accent, you hear me? You're like, I would talk like.
And that's not normally how you talk.
And
right?
And the thing about it, yeah.
luckily, I got rid of it and went back to speaking
To
the
who you
way
are.
I really was.
Yeah.
I don't even know if people really truly understand this, but the very simple fact that you're saying talking proper is talking white. I mean, you're basically saying that white is smart. White is, decorum in a sense. That's what you're saying. Sadly.
Yeah. I definitely think it's like crabs in a barrel mentality.
Definitely.
And it's kind of like, okay, what can we relate over? And that is the struggle within the Black community. There's certain like experiences in which we find commonality or common ground. And when we see someone with a more established upbringing, like you guys were mentioning, like if someone goes to private school, I went to private schools, or you're whitewashed. Why do we associate success or being knowledgeable or speaking a certain way with being white?
Yeah.
To hold ourselves accountable within the Black community would be to stop judging each other on our level of quote unquote Blackness.
Yes.
Because that is where I do think the issue is stemming from. And I think within our community, if we're telling me, oh, you're an Oreo, because really? No, I'm educated. We need to stop talking down to each other because we have those qualities. It's not a bad thing to be articulate.
I think that's the majority, and we're the minority, sadly. It's like we gotta leave them on the plantation.
Yeah. Right. Can we have the disagree step forward?
Oh shit. Leave them on the
I would say
plantation.
there's an issue within the Black community where they try to say you're not Black because you sound a certain way. I think that's ridiculous. Like, we're Black because we're Black, right? But yeah, like, I tune a lot of that stuff out. It's just if I can't use it to do something that will better my life, it does not matter to me. And I
But
think
it matters
because of
if you want the
I
community to do
disconnect
better.
from a lot of Black women and some Black people because I don't like being a victim. I cannot be a victim. I'm like, what is the issue? Let's work on the issue. Yeah, it might be a little harder, but that's fine. There's no growth without opposition, so it's like, let's just go.
Let me ask you all a question. Are people still telling you all, you talk white? Is that an experience that you're all experiencing now?
Yeah.
Right now?
Absolutely.
Wow. I have the ability to code switch.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I can definitely, it's a switch for me. So I haven't had anyone say, oh, you talking white. It's more so like, you going somewhere. I've heard that my whole life from our community. I hate to use the word code switching because I know slang, but that's our language within the community. But outside of that, I am a very intelligent individual, so I know that I need to speak and not use Ebonics so that you'll be able to understand me. And I think that in itself outlines the fact that I feel more judged by those outside of my culture, outside of our race, than inside.
Walking around in society, I'm automatically judged by people who are not Black because I'm Black. And they have an expectation if I'm not dressed properly, if I don't carry myself a certain way. And I understand that. To your point, like, I refuse to be a victim. So I'm going to, like, okay, whatever it is, like, I'm going to present myself the best way possible so that I know I might be judged a little bit walking through the door, but at least I'm giving myself an opportunity. But yeah, I think Black people, we might give each other crap for, like, being different, but at least I feel like we always have each other. Always. Most of the time, we have each other's back, I think, as Black people.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't
I've-
think so. Especially not a Black man with a Black
depends on
woman.
You don't think so?
No.
I agree. I agree, Vic, because I think
I agree with
that
him somewhat too.
when
Yeah.
Black people at school said that I talked white, and especially with a British accent, it's even more like white. It was always more, like you say, it was kind of just like, we're in the community together. I feel like when the white people would say stuff, it was like the true attack. The girl, to an oversharing in this modern world, the girl that I lost my virginity to, white girl, and a few weeks after, she was asking my friend about me, and she was like, does he consider himself white or Black? And then my friend was like, he's Black. And she's like, oh, that's a shame, because I'd only date a white guy, but at least I can tick a Black guy off my list. And that's like my first ever like real sexual experience. When it was the Black women in dating saying you talk white, you're too middle class, whatever it is, then that was just like, okay, yep, just we are different parts of the same community. When white women and other partners who would be like, you're not meeting my dad, because he would never let me date a Black guy, that felt like way more
I've heard
cutting.
that.
In a sense, it's a fetish. And we have to be careful about that because
No,
as a black
that's
woman,
just-
you're a
no,
black
I don't
man.
believe
I'm around black men.
I don't
You're
believe
not
that.
a fetish for me.
It's not impossible for someone who's not black to like a black person.
With
a
Asana,
fetish.
AI teammates are here to help level up your goals. Try it for free.
Because you are a part of my community. And so I disagree with for myself, my experiences, the black community has fully supported me. But I think when you expand outside of your, right in your face community,
bubble.
you'll realize that there are a lot of black women that are just rooting for black women because they're black. I mean, we can think about the
Yeah, I
election.
can definitely say
that's the
environment, 'cause
sisterhood.
when I lived in Atlanta, it was nothing but like black support, black love, everybody's helping each other. You don't see too many black men with white women there.
I
it's 'cause
carry my
Atlanta's black as
parents'
fuck.
relationship patterns.
So I just had a baby. He's 4 months. And I have a partner. We're in a relationship.
Partner.
But I do tell him often that my mom and my dad never married. And so marriage is not my top priority.
Of course.
Although I want to be married, it's not the end all be all. I think that some people are raised and they've seen their parents married, like I have to be married. I don't feel that way.
Of course, most black women don't. She gonna be going together with my man for 20 years.
And I do believe in healthy co-parents, and my parents were healthy co-parents. You would have thought they were brother and sister. So I do believe that if our relationship ends, I would be okay. I am open to being a co-parent.
So
See, and this is the problem right there. That's part of the problem. Is that you might not care or might be able to take it, but the child needs a household with both parents living inside of it together. Okay? You cannot have a child in that space and then be so frivolous or, aloof about giving the best environment to that child. It's not about, again, it's not about you. When you have a child and you're having a family, the family comes first, not your happiness and desires and all. When you make that decision to do it, that's what comes along with it. Okay? That's your duty. As a woman, that's supposed to be your duty as a woman. But they just say, oh, it's all about me, my happiness.
I'm in the middle with this one actually, but I was leaning more towards agree with the statement. I definitely learned unhealthy relationship habits from my parents, and they're actually the model, hi mom and dad, the model of a relationship that I am trying to avoid, and they're the reason why I know, like, your partner is sorry. After seeing how my parents' relationship was, I learned your partner is the #1 choice, life-altering choice you can make in your life.
Absolutely.
With my family dynamic, it's just a little unique because the dad I call dad is my stepdad because my biological father is incarcerated. He's also black. So my stepdad I call dad has been in my life since I was 1. But so with that, I would say my father being black, my mom being white. Now that I'm an adult, I can see there was a power dynamic in their relationship. And like I mentioned, I did grow up on the white side of my family. I didn't know until I started dating how differently I had grown up from other kids. I talk back to my parents because that's what they do to me.
Call them names.
Yes, so when I got my first boyfriend, he was like, what in the hell are you doing? And I genuinely did not know until I got into my first relationship, like, whoa, that's not healthy. You can't just be screaming at your partner all the time. That's not normal. And I thought that was normal because that's what I grew up around.
Oh my God. I can't say it enough. Holy shit, that's a oh my God. State of, I can't believe she came on the www dots and told everybody. That's like telling all man, just stay away from me. Just stay away from me. Because I had a fucked up upbringing.
I think mine is pretty much exactly that, unlearning. Because, yeah, my parents, their relationship was at a very loud volume, and there was a lot of aggression, passive aggression. Like, I got to see them, like, fall out of love to lead to their divorce. Yeah. And My dad had my brother and sister from his first marriage, so like,
God damn.
Talking about inheriting patterns, I always like expected that I would have biological kids, step kids, adopted kids. I always have expected that every single relationship will at some point die and just you will never speak to that person again. So yeah, I think I've just inherited all of those patterns like you, trying to unlearn them now. But yeah, that was like my whole childhood.
We might be half brother and sister. Don't go on Ancestry DNA.
I don't remember all the circumstances in which my parents got divorced. I don't remember. I know some of it, but I was pretty young back then. But what I do know is how much the divorce impacted me just growing up and not having my dad in the house for years. Like developmentally, I think just obviously my mom did a great job, right? You know, but as a single mom, there's only so much I think she could do. And having my dad in a different state a lot of the time, not having that male presence around really impacted my maturity, number one, my ability to be disciplined, I think. How I interacted with women in a lot of ways, I think, was impacted by not having that positive sort of male role model close in my life, involved in my life. And so I say this to say, like, I've followed the relationship model insofar as that I want to get married at some point. But after seeing how that happened, how that impacted me, that's why I view marriage so important and never want my kids to have to experience that. Like, I want to be in my child's life as much as humanly possible.
I definitely agree with what you're saying. So I know that it may have came off like, oh, we can be a co-parent today, but I don't feel that way. I just feel like most times when people get in these relationships and they have children out of wedlock, or they're married and they get a divorce, it's the end of the world. They don't want to work towards something better. They don't want to work for the betterment of the child. And so for me, that is the inherent view that I have, that the child is important. You have to put whatever you have aside and make sure that child is in the forefront. It can't be the end of the world for you. You can't hate this person because you created something so beautiful with them. But I do want to be married.
But no, see, this is a situation where there's no but, okay? There's no but. There's no but.
I would love to marry my partner in this sense, but I think that my mom, this is something that I'm unlearning. My mom is the black woman. I don't need a man. I paid the bills in here. But my dad would help regardless. He could have a
would help. You can help. You can help
out.
out.
Help her if she needed anything. He was her first.
He's
father,
Robin.
So I think the way I view dating is that.
My mom left her whole family for men over and over again. So she put a man above all else. That's kind of how I carried myself in primary. Like the first relationships I had, I fully poured into them, not myself, because I was like, well, they're gonna take care of me. That's what my mom's doing.
Right. But I also want to know, why does the black
As
community
kids?
not hold marriage to like a high standard?
What? Wait,
Find
who?
what you love.
The black
Love
man
what you
does it?
find.
Did she say the black
Only
man?
At Total Wine and More.
What?
We did when we had the most discrimination, racism, and when times were the worst.
Not hold marriage to like a high standard.
Because I was like, well, they're
Y'all
gonna take
don't.
care of me.
Do
That's
you
what
not
my
hear
mom's
her?
doing.
Right. But I also want to know, why does the black community not hold
Oh, the black
marriage to
community.
like a high standard?
We did when we had the
Black
most
women don't.
discrimination, racism, and when times were the worst for us back in the civil rights era, we were getting married at a much higher rate and staying together than we are now. And so that's why I was asking, like, how did it happen?
Feminism
that
and
from 50s and 60s, we ended up here
The welfare
to where
state.
things are regressing when things should be theoretically getting better because there's more access now.
I think back in those times, it was a necessity. As a woman, being married was almost close to a necessity because of all the things you couldn't do as a woman. I think that's why we have degressed in a sense. And
You still need two people in a household, even more so than before. You need two people. Most women don't make $100,000 and super successful.
I think that it should be held valuable, but it's not. It will never be the necessity that it once was.
Can the disagree step forward?
Yeah, because y'all fucked it up.
We grew up with technology and stuff like that, so I've been shaped by so many other things and shows and experiences. I wouldn't say that it would be their relationship has shaped my relationship. I see a lot of issues that I know that I wouldn't want in my relationship if I were to get married. So I can't say that it does, no.
I probably should have agreed because I look at my parents' relationship and I learned like what not to do and what to do.
Right.
Like they raised me out of wedlock. They were never together once I was born. My dad was in my life, but honestly, I love him to death, but he's a piece of shit. Watching from how they were together, I'm doing the total opposite. I have to stick with my partner forever if we're gonna have a kid, no matter what.
Growing up,
His dad was
I
a piece of
have
shit. He
had
said, "Damn."
other father figures, and I'd say even throughout those relationships, my mom has been consistent, and she's always been very mindful of who she introduced to me. My mom never argued with anyone in front of me. She never had any disputes. So everything to me in the eyes of a child was perfect. And I feel like that is a very key and beautiful thing that a lot of people need to keep in mind and maintain.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, because we're speaking about parents and dating habits, do you think you all levitate towards individuals who've had this same experience with their parents and the same dating habits? So, for example, if you grew up in a house with a single mom, do you think you levitate towards men who also had a single mom?
In my personal experience, especially with my mom having left when I was 16, I've struggled in my romantic relationships with my significant others' mothers every single time. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was me unintentionally gravitating towards men who had a really close relationship with their mom. Like definitely have found myself struggling in those situations. Yeah.
Same as you. Maybe we are related.
Where's my dad?
I found that, because my parents were screaming a lot of the time, when I'm with people whose families are more like happy, I'm like, why are you guys happy? I hate it. How come I can never have this? And I'll self-destruct, I'll crash out. So I really struggle. I think I go for people that have had different experiences to how I was raised, but I tremendously struggle with that.
I think that what we're missing within the Black community is spaces like this. And so now they've created this space, and now this is on the TV of those who want to watch it. So it's up to us to advertise it.
All of our energy should be focused on going towards what our goal is as a community.
Right.
And then all the other extra stuff should just get put to the wayside for a second so we can figure out where it is we want to be.
In order to do that, though, at first we have to decide what is it exactly that we're supposed to be getting rid of. What are the issues? Okay? And I think this is where there's an issue, right? I believe one side kind of believes one thing and the other side kind of believes another. We won't get into that, but yeah, before we could even put all of our energy towards the goal at hand, we kind of got to know the goal. And I think the goal has to be very well, eloquently and spoken, laid out, very transparent. No, there shouldn't have to be no questioning around what the goal is. That way we can create lanes for people and, how to operate and what we need to do. All right, let's see. Let's finish. Oh, it's almost over. All right, let's finish it off, baby. Oops.
And get there together. I think that's kind of what we need to do. And having these conversations is how we figure out what those priorities are.
And there's people that's doing that, but unfortunately, this is just not popular.
Well, it's a mature message, and immaturity is really highlighted today and supported.
Yeah.
So it's a very mature message, and it's going to be niche in an odd way.
But we got to stop highlighting the negativity, or we see something good that's happening in the Black community.
No, it needs to be accountability.
Let's share it. Let's spread the message, not just.
No, I don't like that message. I don't like that message. Criticism, because when they say no negativity, then they would basically say no criticism either, you know. But no, there needs to be pushback. We need to put things on the table and talk about, you know, the issues that we have with one another, and maybe we can find some common ground. Because this whole I don't want to change bullshit must stop, because we must change. That's not even a question.
Spew hatred.
We can't rely on the media.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's not controlled by black people mainly, to do the job for us. That has to
Right.
be something we do together.
You have to take it to them. You have to meet them where they are.
But we have social media, so that we have a tool. We have a platform that we could. It's just, you know, creating such thing. You know, that's what we. Motherfucker. That's what we have to do. But yeah, quite interesting. Interesting panel. I actually, you know, because I knew, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like super far left. That's how Jubilee is, you know, whatever. And of course they have. At first, at the beginning, it was like they have all these black people who say that other black people call them white. All right, so that tells you what kind of people come and audition for the videos. You're not getting no, you know, hood nigga, right? Unless they go on the street and find a nigga or know somebody, then I mean, this is what you're gonna get. You know, but it was good. It was a good discussion. I still believe we still have a big disconnect with the women and I think the roles that one should have, and I don't know. I mean, we've said this for a million years. Like my man said, he said, we've been talking about it. You know, been saying this, but you know, culture's just gonna have to slowly change, and hopefully, I think right now we're gonna drop a lot of the bad habits we have now, a lot of the bad behavior as a community as a whole gets called out, pointed out, you know, and disintegrated off, and a new kind of culture emerges from that. So I hope. Because, you know, like the hip-hop kind of culture that has been desecrated. They infiltrated that and destroyed that